Hello everyone, my name is Timia, and this week we were talking about World War One, and I will be looking at my iPad because that's where my notes are. So if I'm wandering over here, that's where my notes are. Hello everyone. This week we learned about what happened after World War One and how those events helped lead to World War Two. One of the biggest things I learned was that even though World War One had ended, many countries were still dealing with serious problems. Germany was hit especially hard. The country had a weak economy. A lot of people were out of work, and many families were struggling. Because of this, people started losing trust in the government and began supporting new political groups that promised change. That helped Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party become way more popular. We also learned about Benito Mussolini in Italy. I didn't know much about him before this week. He promised to make Italy stronger, but once he became the leader, he took over many parts of people's lives. He controlled what people could say, what students learned in school, and even used fear to keep people from speaking out. I thought that was interesting, seeing how someone can gain so much power when people are going through such hard times and just use their trust against them. Another topic was what happened in the Middle East after the war. After the war, Britain and France took control of different areas, and they caused problems because many people wanted to rule themselves. We also learned that more Jewish families moved to Palestine during this time, which created more tension in the area. I didn't know that many of the problems we still hear about today started this long ago. The reading also talked about how countries wanted to stop another world war from possibly happening. They signed an agreement saying they would not go to war again, but there was no real way to make sure that didn't happen. Looking back, it's easy to see, why it didn't work like that. The part I found most interesting was learning about how one war affected so many different countries in so many different ways. France focused on protecting itself, Germany struggled with money and jobs, and Italy chose a leader who promised big changes, which obviously just used their trust against them. I had never thought about it like that, and how those choices really shaped what happened today and since then. Overall, this week's reading and lecture showed me that history is all connected. Everything that's happened from the past is like reasons why things are the way they are right now. The problems after World War One didn't just disappear. They helped lead to World War Two and even some problems that still exist today, as I just said. This week helped me understand that the choices leaders make and the way people respond during hard times can affect the future for many years. Like was previously stated, you really should still do your research on people, even if they are promising you stuff. Like they could just be selling you dreams. If they don't have anything to back it up, maybe they did, but it was just such a hard time, and they took advantage of the people, and that was probably the biggest thing I learned this week. Thank you.